Good afternoon, everybody. I'm meteorologist Beau. It is January 24th, 2023. We do have some of the models are shifting around a little bit. Now, you were with me yesterday, the day before, and today. You know that I keep saying the word stay tuned and monitor updates. It's because we have this low confidence about a two-row county on the east-southeast of these advisories and winter storm warnings. That includes areas such as Stoddard County, northern New Madrid, Scott, Mississippi, Pulaski, Massac, Ballard, McCracken, into Polk County, into Livingston County, northeast into Davies County, Owensboro area. There's a buffer zone in here somewhere between Vienna and Paducah, Vienna and maybe Benton, Kentucky, somewhere in there that we just, the models keep shifting back and forth. The track of the low is key to where the precipitation falls and what type of precipitation. So we'll move through here and we're going to look at the HRRR model. It's the one that is the high resolution and it has shifted southeast a little bit. We move into the evening hours, widespread rain arrives. Remember, this begins as rain, changing to snow and sleet over portions of the region. So at 6 o'clock, radar is probably going to look like that. 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock. Now watch as heavy rain drags down colder air and the snowflakes start to come towards the surface. This blue zone is heavy snow. Sleet in here. The low is still way down in Louisiana. So there's a bit of a lead wave with this. And this is the snow that we're watching that could be very heavy with half dollar size flakes at times, quarter size flakes. So we'll move through the evening hours and we'll stop here at 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock and 12 a.m. Notice there's still sleet and snow over western Kentucky. Now, the question, well, what are the temperatures going to be? If they're in the middle 30s, it may be difficult to get the snow to stick. That's a question mark. Notice this band back here, that darker blue bands, those banding in here as well, and that's where some heavier snow could fall. So we'll keep moving forward in time, 7, 8, 9, 10, Z. That takes into about 3 and 4 a.m. in the morning. And the low is over Memphis at 996 millibars, a decent low with tight packed isobars, equal lines of pressure, gusty winds on the backside, sleet falling. Now, this is when that warm air arrives late tonight into tomorrow morning ahead of the low. Let me switch over and drag this out a little bit further in the HRRR model, and let's go into the morning hours. We'll stop here at about 6 a.m. and the low is over Graves County. Now that's a little bit further southeast, and that may mean that places like Carroll or portions of Massac County, maybe sleet and snow, some heavy snow back here towards Marion. As that low continues to move north and east, notice it will drag the cold air a little bit farther southward, but it also is pulling away, so the precipitation will come to an end. But there is still some banding in here, as you can see. We'll just keep moving forward in time. As we go into the afternoon hours, the whole system pulls away, leaving us with some light snow showers. Let's take a look at current conditions as of 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon. Rain is already starting to arrive over southeast Missouri. Now, this is what I want you to pay attention to is temperatures. Notice 47 degrees in Paducah, 46 in Carbondale. These are areas here, 46 in the winter storm warning, 44, 45, 46 in Jefferson County, Illinois, Mount Vernon. These are areas in the winter storm warning, and they are in the mid to upper 40s, so road conditions are going to be quite warm. We see all this rain developing to the southwest, but watch this too. As the rain falls, remember I told you, it will drag down colder air with it as the snowflakes fall and evaporational cooling occurs. 39, 38, and down in Arkansas where the heavy snow is, see this pink? That's where it's changed over to snow, 32 degrees. That's what happens when you have heavy rain changing the heavy snow. It drags the temperature down to the freezing mark. Maybe doesn't go below it, but it's right at the freezing mark. That's where your accumulating snow is going to occur. Some very heavy snow falling back in here over western Arkansas. More and more of this is going to turn to snow over the coming hours. Rain overspreads our region into the evening hours. Remember I told you this begins as rain area wide, and then it will turn to snow over at least portions of southeast Missouri and southern Illinois and probably portions of western Kentucky for a time period before the warmer air arrives and changes it back. So now that raises questions on how much snow will fall. Well, let's take a look at the HRRR model, and we're not going to look at exact numbers, okay? We're not looking at exact numbers of snow totals on this because that's not how we forecast snow totals just based on this map. But I do want to show you the idea. Notice that we're about 1 to 2 counties now farther to the southeast than it was this morning, and the heavier snow is a little bit further southeast. The biggest question here is how much can this stick? Since it's going to be wet ground conditions, temperatures right now in the mid to upper 40s, I'm not sure. It's a bit of a tricky math for me to figure that out. It's easier back here in Farmington, Missouri, Marion, Carbondale, Mount Vernon, Randolph County. It's easier to figure out the snow totals up there. More difficult as you move towards Cape Girardeau, towards Cairo, towards Metropolis, Golconda, Hardin County, down into Sikeston, Paducah. But there has been a trend to move this slightly. Remember I said slightly a while ago, a little bit farther to the south and east. The SREF model also is showing that it's trending a little bit further southeast. Then there was another model that came in that was slightly more to the northwest. Bottom line is, we're still not exactly sure where the low will track. If the low ends up tracking through Tennessee, then you can pull this snow a bit further to the south and east as we move into tomorrow, and the wraparound snow will be a bit further to the southeast. This initial thump of snow that I've been showing you, that's what we're going to have to watch for accumulation. And some of this may occur while you're sleeping tonight. And so you may wake up and it's white, but then as that warmer air arrives, you could see the snow melt. But let's just take a look at temperatures since we're talking about that. Right now, very mild across the region in the 40s. And then we'll watch as the precip moves in that blues area, that's 32 degrees. And this dark green zone, that's about 33, 34. So we'll have to see how far the temps drop. Watch this warm air. See that warm air I told you about that moves up? That comes with the low. So that's why it's important where the low tracks. You can see 46, 48 degrees in Murray tomorrow morning, maybe even some 50-degree reading in northwest Tennessee. We'll see, but mid to upper 40s. We cool down and we will have some snow over western Kentucky, perhaps the Boot Hill, maybe even northwest Tennessee tonight, and then it changes back to rain. And then where the low tracks will determine who gets that wraparound snow. But remember, we do warm up late tonight and tomorrow morning, so you could very well have snow on the ground tonight while you're sleeping and wake up to no snow because it melted. Don't say the forecast was wrong. That is the forecast. Okay? So we'll have to keep an eye on this. The evening models and the afternoon models are coming in now. The evening models won't be until 7, 8, 8:30, something like that. But at this point, it's becoming a nowcast where we're just watching radar observations, satellite, and then current conditions. We're going to watch this snow expand over the next few hours as this rain moves into our region. The low develops and becomes more mature, pulling moisture northward, heavier rain, and when that heavier rain begins, that's when we'll start to see it change the snow. It's going to be an interesting night. There's a lot of question marks that remain on those 2 rural counties that I mentioned. Otherwise, north of there, quite a bit of snow, 3 to 6 inches, pockets of 4 to 8. And then over the rest of the area, sorry, you're just looking at a cold rain. So areas like Mayfield, it may be a hard sell to get snow. Maybe some snow tonight in the air. If it sticks, it won't last, I don't think, because you're going to warm up tomorrow morning. Areas like Murray, Todd County, Hopkinsville, LBL may be out of luck with this system. Is it just going to be too warm in those areas? But we'll keep an eye on it. If it trends, farther southeast, we'll update. That's the update. We're watching the models come in. We're watching the radars. And at this point, it's about to become a nowcast.